Obeda Zenshaw, president of the Hero Public Safety Commission, was currently sitting in a private meeting room, face-to-face, with none other than Izuku Midoriya. Next to her was her assistant and vice president Yakumura Mira, and next to Izuku was Giza, holding a suitcase. Madam President, thank you for agreeing to meet with me, Izuku told her. I believe we have a lot to talk about. Yes. Starting with those quark erasing bullets. Obeda said, wasting no time at all. I would like it if you would sell those to the police and the commission. I've been considering that, Izuku admitted. Recently we've found ways to make these bullets without the use of my daughter's blood, which makes the matter less complicated. However, as a quirkless person, I know very well what kind of effect being quirkless can have on a person, which is why I'm only considering selling the temporary version of the product. That would be acceptable. Obeda agreed. We can analyze the bullets ourselves and figure out the permanent formula then. Little did she know, Izuku already thought about this and had written in the contract she would later go on to sign, that they could only use the temporary bullets. Oh, and I want to make sure you're not using them in excess. Constant exposure to the temporary quark erasers will do permanent damage to a person's body. Izuku explained. I trust that you'll use it only when needed. Naturally. Obeda nodded. So we have a deal. Let's not be hasty, we have other matters to discuss, Izuku told her. After all, I have so much planned. For example, did you know we are currently developing other forms of anti-quark technologies? None of them are ready quite yet, but the progress is promising. We're also close to developing a technology to counter warp quirks. That is, splendid. Obeda looked at him with wide eyes. Such technology would be invaluable to the Commission, as well as the nation as a whole. Yes, which is why I've already had a discussion with the Prime Minister, Izuku revealed. You will likely be informed of it later on at some point. It was a rather long decision, most of it was around the new cure-all medicine I've developed dash. The what? Obeda's eyes somehow went even wider. It's a cure-all drug developed using the same technology as bullets. It has nothing to do with our meeting so I won't discuss it here. Izuku dismissed. Instead, I'd like to show you one last thing. Giza then opened up the suitcase, revealing one of the might fruit. A fruit? Obeda gave him a confused look. This is the latest development from our botany team, Izuku explained. The fruit of might. Named after All Might. I have no doubt you're aware of Trigger, well this has similar effects. Except instead of dulling one's mental faculties, it enhances them. With the only downside being that it puts a person who consumes it into a harsh state of exhaustion after the 30-minute time limit is up. But so long as you only consume one fruit, it's completely non-lethal. I see. Obeda started to get nervous. The more Izuku revealed, the more she realized what this was. And what exactly do you want in return for all this? Just enough money to make a profit, Izuku said. And since I'm doing so much for you, I fully expect that favor to be returned. Ah, that's what this was all about. He wants me in his pocket. Obeda realized. Izuku was going to give her something, and then threatened to take it away if they didn't do what he wanted. What a wonderful businessman he'd grown into. Should I call? I trust that my friends here at the HPSC will help me with what needs to be done, Izuku said. How generous, Obeda responded. There really wasn't much she could do here. All the things Midoriya offered were already extremely valuable to them, and he would likely only make more. Not to mention he no doubt already made deals with the greater government, and by combining that with his cure-all, he would soon have incredible power and influence. It was an offer she could not refuse. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX I have confirmed that Detnarat is a key part of the Meta Liberation Army's financial supplies, Izuku said before his image was replaced by a map of the city and all close-by cities, with red dots on them. I want you to attack these locations, owned and operated by Detnarat. Cause as much damage as possible, and take anything valuable. And of course, no casualties, is that understood? Everyone nodded. Good, I also want you to steal as much data as possible. Especially if you find anything relating to the MLA. Izuku ordered. And if you find information connecting the MLA to Detnarat, you are to report it, and hand it over to Nizu. Sir, if I may, Kaza spoke up. If we do this, then won't the higher-ups just fire people to save money? That is exactly what I'm hoping for, Izuku said. Detnarat's highest-ranking members are all part of the MLA, meaning that they're likely only going to fire people who aren't members of the MLA. People who will then have a grudge against Detnerat, and will be looking for work. Those people will be very useful for what I have planned for the future. But rest assured, those people will be taken care of. Kaza nodded. Yes, thank you, sir. Be quick, All Might won't be active for the next 6 hours, but afterward you'll need to wait until he becomes inactive again, Izuku warned them. Hey boss, you keep saying All Might's inactive during such and such times, but what does that actually mean? Karaki asked. That is not for you to know, Izuku told them. It's because he's gonna be retiring soon, Kaza answered, causing her crew to give her surprised looks. He's been appearing less and less often as time goes on, dating back around 10 years ago. My guess is that something happened to him, and now he's on borrowed time. Time which he's been getting less and less of. How did you dash? Izuku was stunned. He knew she was smart, that's why he put her in charge, but to be able to put all that together. I'm not one of those idiots that can't see past all propaganda the HPSC has been putting out, Kaza said. All Might won't be around forever. Once you come to terms with that, it's easy to see the signs and put 2 and 2 together. I see, Izuku responded. It appears I underestimated your intelligence. I do hope you'll use that intelligence for more than discovering state secrets. With that, the image of Izuku vanished. I think we might have made him mad, Karaki said. No, he's just a bit spooked, Kaza said. Understandable, if news got out that All Might was gonna be gone sooner than later, the public would riot. So what do you think they're going to do when it happens then? Yoko asked. Who knows, not our problem, Kaza said as she went to leave. Get ready, we have 6 hours. I want to hit 2 facilities tonight. Khan, do you have the nearest location? Yes, we're already heading towards there as we speak. We'll arrive in 20 minutes, Rora said. Good, everyone get ready. Shift, Yo-Yo, and I will be on raiding duty. Ruff, Pai, and Lilith will be on pillaging duty. Kaza ordered. Khan, do what you normally do. You all heard him, take everything that isn't nailed down, and destroy whatever is. It's time to decimate. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX factory, producing support gear at a rapid pace, to meet demand. Back in one of the offices, the overseer, known as Jet, a slim man with slicked green hair, was sitting back with an irritated look on his face. Damn that Redestro, what the hell is even doing? Kaboom! Suddenly the whole building shook, as the sound of an explosion rang out through the factory. What? Jet sat up in his chair, his eyes wide as he suddenly became alert. Kaboom! 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 The building shook rapidly, as more and more explosions could be heard outside, and Jet could even faintly smell fire and smoke coming from outside. Jet stood up, and ran out from the door, and much to his horror he saw absolute chaos unfolding outside. Giant holes had been burnt into the side of the factory, and weird multicolored tentacle monsters with one giant eye were attacking the workers who were attempting to flee, wrapping them up in their tendrils, while others grabbed whatever they could and left out of the holes. Meanwhile, Ruff was grabbing things with massive hands made of sand, and taking them out of the holes. What the hell? Jet scowled, before jumping over the rails, and down towards the factory floor. As he fell, he activated his quirk, making small jets come out of the sides of his legs. Jet. Quirk. Jet. Allows the user to spawn jet engines from any part of their body. After landing, Jet immediately started rocketing his way toward the closest monster, smashing into it at full force, and splattering them into paint. What the hell? Jet looked down at his paint-covered fist in confusion. Shing! Suddenly a bunch of cuts and slashes appeared on his body. Gah! Jet coughed up blood, before collapsing onto the ground. So, I suppose you must be the boss, Shift said, as he approached the downed man. You should have plenty of good info for us. Screw you! Jet shouted as he used what was left of his strength, to transform his legs into big jets, and rocket toward Shift. However, when Jet reached Shift, he just went right through him. Slam! Then Kaza came in from the air, and slammed into Jet, nailing him to the ground. We weren't asking permission, Kaza said, using her immense strength to keep Jet pinned down even while he used his quirk. Whack! Then Karaki hit him in the head with her yo-yo, knocking him unconscious. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX Karai asked, in a video call with All For One and Redestro. Oh definitely, with the fact that they stole his boat, which he was making for seemingly no reason, and then immediately started attacking you, it's not hard to put 2 and 2 together. All For One said. We need to do something about this now. Redestro shouted. He's been attacking my facilities en masse. It's been a week, and already he's destroyed over a dozen of my factories, stolen hundreds of millions of yen from my company, and he's forced me to fire my workers en masse. Why haven't you set a trap for them yet? Karai asked. I'm working on that, but with a company as big as mine, it's hard to know where those damned pirates are going to attack. Redestro explained. And even if I did stop the pirates, nothing is stopping Midoriya from just creating more villains to attack us. We'll need to destroy the root of the problem if we need to succeed. All For One said. And that is Midoriya. And he has us in a rather difficult situation. The longer we wait, the more powerful he becomes, yet if we act too much we draw the ire of the heroes, and bring all of them crashing down on us. We can't afford to play the long game. We need to destroy him in one fell swoop. We'll need to prepare one massive attack, using everything we have. And if we fail? Redestro asked. Well, the station won't be that much worse. All For One said. Although I do have a way we can increase our forces significantly. After all, once information about the Midoriya Foundation's new technology gets out, villains from all across Japan will want to get their hands on it. Speaking of which, we've heard news of the Foundation creating some facilities in the city, and that they have some rather strange machinery, Karai revealed. We're sending people to go after it. Hopefully, we can get something useful out of it. Meanwhile, back in Izuku's office, he and Mizu were having a cup of coffee. Today was extremely successful, Izuku said. We've pretty much got the entire government looking out to win our approval. It's good to know they won't get in our way, Mizu said. Now we're free to go at our enemies with little restraint. Speaking of which, is the trap ready? Izuku nodded. The prototype is armed and ready for its first test. We just need them to go after the bait.